And now it's time for today's daily forecast with EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martridge.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, August 29th, 2018, and we have another hot and humid day on tap today. Very similar to what we saw on Tuesday, so the heat advisories are remaining in effect from the National Weather Service. High pressure is still off the eastern seaboard down here, and that is the upper air ridge is still over the region. This is a cold front off to our west here that is going to remain there today. Going to be slowing as it moves further east as it runs into this ridge. This ridge is firmly entrenched across the region and bringing those warm southwesterly winds through the region today. And I do think the only difference between we're going to see between yesterday and today is we're going to start seeing a little bit more in the way of puffy clouds. So yesterday we had mostly sunny skies, and today you're going to have the puffy clouds, partly cloudy skies this afternoon. Doesn't really do too much, but might hold the temperature back from maybe a degree or two from what we saw yesterday, but it's not going to really make a difference, folks. That's going to be very hot and very humid, so humidities once again over 100 degrees, and in some places closing in on the 105 degree mark like we saw yesterday. So very hot and humid today. Again, this cold front is off to our west. This is going to move eastward, but it's going to slow, as we talked about for the last couple of days. It's going to slow up as it moves into this ridge. It's going to be running into the ridge, so it's going to do two things. One, it's going to starve this of moisture for the most part, and it's also going to slow the forward advance of the front itself, so as it runs into that ridge. Now, the global models are still suggesting we're going to have scattered showers and thunderstorms with this front as it moves south and east. Okay, and you can see that here. It's clearly shown, and this is more of the scattered variety. But we go over to the latest NAM. Now, this is very interesting because we looked at this since the model came into inception. We're now within 48 hours of range. Since it came into inception, at 48 hours, which is 2 full days ago, it has not been impressed with Thursday whatsoever, and it continues to not be impressed. This is the latest evening run, the 0Z run of the 3-kilometer NAM. This is looking at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday, okay? And then we move ahead to 5, and a little bit of activity down here, mostly across northern Virginia and parts of Maryland, maybe across south central Pennsylvania. Okay, and then here's 8. Well, we're playing Where's Waldo here. So the NAM is not thrilled with any activity whatsoever. Very, very, very isolated. Now, we are going to go to keep it an isolated chance in the forecast on Thursday for most areas, just because the 12-kilometer version has a little bit of isolated activity here as this moves through. This is not going to be a big deal. This is looking at 5 p.m. on Thursday. If this is the case, you're only talking about a quick line, maybe 30 to 45 minutes in duration. And very weak, very moisture-starved, very run-of-the-mill type storms. Not a big deal. Okay, so no severe weather, no flash flooding, none of that nonsense. And that is for Thursday. So I'm not really thrilled with anything. Now, I'm not saying that the globals are really overly thrilled with this, but I mean, it's still showing a little bit more activity, certainly than we're seeing here on the 3-kilometer NAM, which is a mesoscale model designed for this purpose. So usually specializes in thunderstorm activity. It's not showing anything and hasn't been for the past 2 days. So I have a funny feeling that even though this front is going to stall to the south here, it's going to stall to the south, and this activity that is shown, this widespread activity that is starting to show for Friday, I have a funny feeling it's going to be very hit or miss and very, very isolated or widely scattered. I don't think it's going to be this concentrated as shown here. Again, the NAM is not thrilled with this. We go into the longer range of the NAM. Now, this is going out of the maximum range of the NAM. You can see just a few spotty showers on Thursday night. Not a real big deal. Maybe a Friday morning. Hit or miss. This is not a big deal, folks. Not at all. And that continues right into Friday night. Just spotty stuff. Very spotty. Not a big disruptor. Now, it is going to be mostly cloudy, though, because that front is going to be strolling off to the south of the Delmarva. So it's going to be kind of right about here. And because of its close proximity, you're going to have mostly cloudy skies regardless. And that's going to continue again on Saturday. I do think you're going to have mostly cloudy skies on Saturday too, because that front is not going to be going anywhere, but it will start to dissipate on Saturday. Okay, and then we're going to have high pressure off toward north and east. Hard to see here, but we have high pressure sitting over New England that's going to start funneling in drier air with time. Now, again, the global models are still showing activity here on Friday night, which is still possible. I mean, we still can have some spotty stuff, but here's a look at Saturday, and it still has scattered activity across the region, even though the high pressure is starting to nose in some drier air from the north and east. I don't think this is going to be a big deal Saturday either. I really don't. Okay, now we've been making a living off not only making making the tough calls, making the aggressive calls, especially when it comes to snow, and everybody else is calling for 3 to 6, we're calling for 6 to 10, and we get 8. Okay, it also works in the reverse manner in that we see something like this occurring, and we look at the synoptic setup, we look what's going on with this high pressure and the nosing down from New England. This should bring some dry air into this, and the NAM's not really thrilled. I'm not really thrilled with any activity, though, over this weekend, Friday and Saturday. Okay, I'm just not. I think it's going to be very spotty. Still could have a spotty shower. It's going to be mostly cloudy, but it's not going to be a washout by any means, and not really that big of a deal. Okay, if that makes any sense. As we go further in time, here's Sunday. Still has some isolated activity, but again, high pressure is now even further to the south and west. So this is going to be very tough to get this to occur here on Sunday. I think Sunday's a partly cloudy day. Since it's in this position a little bit further south, you're going to have winds coming in from a different direction instead of being easterly to start coming more from the south. And that will allow for this to be a little bit drier and also a little bit more in the way of sun. And the temperatures will respond by going up back to the mid-80s here on Sunday instead of upper 70s to near 80 like we're going to see on Friday and Saturday. So we're gonna iron this out as this gets a little bit closer, but I really am doubting anything of significance on Friday or Saturday. Just some spotty showers here or there, not a washout by any means, and I would say isolated to spotty type things on both Friday and Saturday. And Sunday looks a lot better with more sun over the clouds. And then when we get into Monday, global models are all suggesting more activity here, but again, not really thrilled with this idea either on Monday. I don't think it's a washout here either. So we'll just have to play this by ear and go day by day here and see if we can get some kind of agreement with the global models in with the short range models and see which one wins out in this case. But I wouldn't bank on canceling any plans for the weekend, for any weekend plans you have. Just understand that Friday and Saturday have a better chance of maybe having an isolated shower roll through. Not a real big deal, not a party stopper. Okay, if that makes any sense. So we're going to continue to look at this throughout the week and narrow this down as we get a little bit closer. I'm Eastern PA with Authority meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is your outlook for August 29th, 2018. Have a great Wednesday.